Hey, what's up, y'all? Scavenger Reviews here, and today we are looking at Godzilla Kong, the New Empire, Hiya Toys Godzilla, specifically the exquisite basic. You know, so I really like this. I mean, first of all, just look at the pose I got him in. You see anything under here? Nope, nope. They can fully stand up without the support of the tail. Oops. I mean, speaking of the tail, they can fully support. Stand up with no support of the tail. Jeez. Anyways, y'all, I gotta say, I really like this guy. So, my Godzilla figure collection, which maybe I'll show off, maybe I won't, who knows, is super weird. It ranges all over the place from stuff like this, like premium high grade collector stuff, too. You might already see it in the corner over here, but stuff like this. I unironically love both of these figures. Hold on. Both of these figures are pretty great. You know, I mean, they both serve their purpose and do what you need them to do. I mean, let's take a look at like this one over here, right? So this guy, I got him for I think $12, and check it out, can also stand without the support of the tail, so that's pretty cool. He's also in a running pose, you know, and unlike the other one, he actually came with a blast effect. You can actually take it out of his mouth. There you go. You can actually take it out of his mouth, and then you can just have simply a running Godzilla. Come on now. Now he doesn't want to balance anymore. Okay, so it was actually the blast effect that was letting him balance at all. This is the Play Arts, yeah, this Play Arts guy, and this is the Hiya Toys guy. So kind of a let's get them right next to each other. Total size comparison. So obviously, the new one is bigger and obviously way more detailed and way more articulated. Boy, let's talk about the articulation. Get out here. So first of all, total tail movement is all the way that far and all the way that far. You get a ball joint here, 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 all the way down the tail. Anywhere you see a breakup, there is a ball joint. Something I don't really like, right? So let me straighten out the tail. When you have the tail straight, you can see like it would bend all the way that far up and all the way that far down, except when you try to bend it downward, it doesn't quite want to go. It has a sculpt right here that you kind of just have to deal with, unless you do like that, you know? Again, no tail. I love that. I love that. That's so rare. Anyways, getting tail out the way, you have butterfly joints at his legs, and they kind of can go in and out. It's kind of like that. And then the knees are kind of weird where they don't really want to act as knees, if you ask me. Like, I can't straighten out his leg fully at all. You can only bend it and then have it slightly less bent. You get a little bit of a pivot at the ankle. Hold on, let me show it off like this. You get a little bit of a pivot at the ankle. Not too good, not too bad though. And then the arms can do a 360, go out to the sides. The elbow is about that far, so can rock a 90. That's absolutely fine. And then the hands on a ball joint can spin and do one of these. Say, you know, hey, come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go. And then the head has about that range of motion. He can look up, kind of, but not really. Yeah, he can look up. He can look up. Absolutely. Never mind. And then the mouth can open, and the tongue can actually move too. If you can even get in there. Pause. So I had a pencil earlier that I was using, but I can't find it, so kids don't play with sharp objects. But check it out. The tongue is articulated. There you go. I wonder if you can even see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I wish the brightness was better. There we go. But yeah, so there you go. Articulated tongue. Not the most, mind-blowing thing in the world, but hey, it's here. And just saying, so here's a couple of my other Godzillas, right? Here he is with the SH Monsters, actually, Godzilla Tokyo SOS Godzilla. And this is a really cool guy, too. This is my other, high-end figure, of Godzilla. He's got, oh, Lord. And in comparison, because I feel like, he's the most contemporary comparison I have. Obviously the playouts isn't really on the same level as these guys. So of the, these guys, I like them both. And can you believe that I got this for I think $50? The same price that I paid for him, which that's insane. How I managed that is I found him at a library of all things. No, not a library, a Books A Million of all things. And he was just sitting there for 50 bones and I picked him up. So yeah, I've got this guy, which I love. Look at his shiny mouth. Blah. No articulated tongue, 0 out of 10 though. No, I'm joking. I'm not crazy about a super shiny chest, but yeah, whatever. And then check it out. He actually has opening hands. How cool is that? Huh. Pretty neato, burrito. Hey. Hey, what do you know? But anyways, this isn't his review, so I'll put him back in the Final Wars pose. Which, look at that. Hold on. There you go, look at that. That's awesome. But, again, not his review. And here he is with the NECA. So I've got quite a few different companies here. I got Play Arts, I got Hiya, I got SH Monster Arts, and here's a NECA. So I got a little bit of everything, right? Like I said, my collecting is all over the place. But I love this guy. He's the only other figure I have that came with a blast effect. Well, not the only other figure, but it's very rare. See, hot take. Don't tell anyone, shh. Shh. I don't really feel like a blast effect is always necessary. It's cool to have a blast effect. And, I'm sure, a lot of collectors right now are just telling me, shut your mouth. But, I really don't feel like it's necessary. Would I have liked a blast effect? Yeah, I might have made some cool, photo shoots. But, honestly, I can just put in a blast effect, with editing and stuff like that. And I usually lose them anyways. Speaking of this guy, I didn't lose it. I mean, he's in a box somewhere. But I have no idea what his blast effect is. I don't know, man. Ah, man. Way shorter tail. But, yeah. He cannot stand up. Ah. Oh, yeah, I can. There you go. I'm starting to think that's not as cool as I think it is. But I don't know. Very contemporary comparison. Here is the 2014 NECA Godzilla and the 2024 Hiya Toys Godzilla Kong New Empire Godzilla. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool, showing just the, evolution and the way he's changed over the years. And also, hello, the way toys have changed over the years. So that's pretty cool. And here he is with a kind of a weird contemporary. So this guy, I believe, was the NECA King of the Monsters Godzilla. However, I had found that online, and I'm pretty sure it's a bootleg, but I don't care. And this guy is actually, was really cheap. And so here's the thing. Y'all might not know about this if this is your first video, but I'm a little on the, let's say, chunkier side, the heftier side. And I like me a belly, And when I saw that they were... Come on, raise your arms up. When I saw that they were getting rid of the belly in the new Godzilla, I was kind of hurt. You know, I was like, come on, that's our thing, is Dad Godzilla. So, I mean, look at the difference. Look at the difference. You get that nice healthy curve versus this unnatural, like, you know, sucking his gut in. You know, so I bought this. You know, and for the longest time, this was my Godzilla Kong New Empire. Obviously, it's not accurate. Doesn't have the elbow spikes. Doesn't have the tail Stegosaurus thing that he's got going on, and then just a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, you probably already noticed this huge pink splotch right here. You know, it was a not a custom, but a bootleg or whatever you would call this guy. I don't care. I love him. He's a good boy. You know, he's got very well detailed eyes, first of all, and that I'm calling attention to because the Hiya toys. Oh my gosh! So let me get the camera in here, right? Hold on, let me figure out a way. There we go. So can you even see that? There you go. And you gotta put. You can barely see his eye right there. Look at that. Look at that. You can barely see his eye. That is ridiculously tiny. Accurate, maybe, sure. There we go. But that is so tiny, you can barely even see it. Honestly, when I first opened up the guy, I had to do a double take because I was like, oh my god, they forgot to paint the eyes. No, they did paint the eyes, they're just so tiny. And, you know, this random bootleg, hold on, does it better. You know, the paint's not the best, sure, whatever. And it's not official either, but technically the Hiya isn't either, you know, so if you want to be like real splitting hairs. But I like the eyes on this guy, especially that eye. He's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm just a chill guy. And one final comparison, just for, you know, gets and shiggles. Here is my custom Shin Godzilla. This was also the play arts? I don't remember. But it looked terrible, so I actually customized this guy, and it doesn't look like amazing, but I think it looks pretty good. You know, what do you guys think? I think he looks pretty good. You know, a lot more accurate. But yeah. Here is the group shot of all of them. Now, this is by no means all of my Godzilla figures, not even close. I have a lot of Godzilla figures. Especially because I really tend to go, oh wait, hold on, the cheap guys. You know, I typically tend to go for the cheap guys, so I actually have a lot of Godzilla figures. But I really like these guys. Maybe I'll show off all of my Godzilla figures in a follow-up video, you know, or if I get like, you know, if I get one like that isn't my own, then that's saying something. That isn't my own, I'll post a follow-up video where I show off all of them. So cool, yeah. Alright, and I've been Scavenger Reviews. Make sure to check me out on the next one. This is my look at the Hiya Toys Godzilla Kong the New Empire. Exquisite Basic, yeah. And, you know, a couple other ones, just for fun. Anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hype me up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.